Hello, my name's Roy Johnson from Acoustic RGJ. Today's lesson is on the short classical guitar piece called Fandango by Vincent Lindsey-Clarke from a book of pieces he wrote called Simply Spanish. Don't worry if you haven't got the book, there's plenty in this video that you'll find interesting and hopefully will benefit your playing in the future. Before I forget, if you enjoy this video, please subscribe to my channel Acoustic RGJ and hit the bell icon, and then I can let you know of any new pieces that I upload in the future. Please try and get the book if you can. I don't think it's available on digital download, but you can still get a hard copy on the internet. Before we go any further and we look at the piece in a little bit more detail, I'll just play it through for you. Okay, so let's start by looking right at the beginning of the piece of music at the time signature. So you'll see the time signature is in 2/4 time. Be careful not to confuse this with 4/4 time. So 4/4 time would be counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, whereas 2/4 time is counted 1, 2, 1, 2. Now be careful when you play that you think or you feel this 2/4 time, because it has a big impact on how the phrasing will sound. I'll give you a demonstration of that a little bit later on. Okay, so moving on to the key signature, you notice that there aren't actually any sharps or flats, so that suggests that we're in the key of C major or A minor. However, the first bar contains E's and a B, so that suggests the key of E minor. Now what we're actually doing here, we're playing in what's known as the Phrygian mode, which is the third mode. And all it really means is that if you take a scale of C major, for example, you'd normally play from C to C. When you're playing in the Phrygian mode, you're actually starting on an E and playing up to an E, but playing the notes of a C major scale. So in other words, it would sound like this. So the Phrygian mode is quite often used in Spanish music purely because it gives the music the feel that it has. Okay, so let's have a look at the time signature again. Bar Su to 5 is a good example of showing how the 2/4 pulse should sound. So I'll just play that and I'll count it out at the same time. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and I think you've got the same thing on bar 4, 5 and 6. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and... Okay, so hopefully that'll help you count throughout the rest of the piece. Right at the beginning of the piece of music there's a rhythm which goes like 1 and a 2 and that same rhythm happens in bar 6. Okay, now the way to play that is to play the bass note, the bottom E, with your thumb, and then the two semi-quaver E's and the quaver E are going to be played A, M, I. So you play thumb, P, A, M, I, and then the B string, you'll catch that with your middle finger. So it's P, A, M, I, M. And the same underneath it in bar 5, E, B, 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 G sharp. So playing thumb, ring, middle, index, middle. P, A, M, I, M. The next thing to consider are the tied notes that are in this piece. Tied notes in this case are in the bass, and that just means that they have to be held down or they ring on while a melody is played over the top. And often, usually in fact, a tied note would go across a number of bars. So again, this happens in the first 2 or 3 bars. So just play that phrase I played earlier again, but try and listen to that bass ringing on. So that bass note lasts for 3 bars. There's another set of tied notes starting in bar 31, and I'll just play those for you, so try and listen out to those notes ringing on. Okay, so just ring on and create some harmony, really, that's the purpose of them. The other thing to watch out for in this piece are the accidentals. The majority of them are actually G sharps, and that kind of temporarily kind of puts us in the key of E major. But the important thing is to note that when you play an accidental, generally it only lasts for that one bar that it appears in. Immediately after that bar, unless it's sharpened again, it'll revert to the natural form as per in the key signature. The trickiest section arguably in this piece is the section from bars 11 to 24. In these bars we have some bass notes that are running across some kind of repeated treble notes, and the melody in this case effectively transfers from the treble into the bass. So I'm just going to play you the bass line so you get a feeling of what that bass voice sounds like. Then we get a repeat of the first voice. And then at bar 23 it's just slightly different. And on that one, just be careful that you lift off the F before you play that bottom E. If you play the F and the E together, you get this horrible discordant sound, and if the F is ringing on, you can hear it kind of it grates. Whereas if you kill it, it sounds a lot better. So what you need to do when you play that F, which is at the bottom of page 1, is just lift it off and stop it ringing while you play that bottom E. Now when you put those bass notes together with the treble, what you really want to do is you want the bass to be quite prominent and the treble notes to sound quite quiet relatively underneath. Try and think of the treble notes as bells. It's quite a common theme in Spanish music to have this kind of recurring bell sound going in the background while you have a more major kind of melody over the top. Okay, so we're nearing the end of the piece, and at bar 37 and 38 we have a series of thirds played one after the other. So I just want to talk through the fingering of that part just to help you through there. With an open G and a B, then we play an F and an A, so your F is on the 4th string with your 3rd finger, and the A is played with your 2nd finger on the 2nd string. Then you keep your 2nd finger held down, put your 1st finger onto the C at the 1st fret, then you go back to the open G and the open B. Now your 2nd finger and 1st finger then want to move up into 3rd position. You now play a B on the 3rd string at the 4th fret and the D on the 2nd string at the 3rd fret. B and a D. Then you take that shape, you slide it down to 1st position to play the A and the C again. And then you're back to G, B, and then that F with your 3rd finger and the A with your 2nd finger. and that ends that little section of thirds. Okay, so we're nearly there. At bar 41 we just have this sudden change of rhythm which can take you by surprise if you're not careful. So that rhythm's counted 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2 and. So I'll just play that for you and I count it at the same time. So you got 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2 and 1 and a 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. Okay, so that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video and you found it useful. Please try and find the music Simply Spanish. It's a great little book of Spanish pieces. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the little bell icon, and then I can let you know when I've released more videos. Okay, thanks for listening, take care, bye for now.